Shawn Ray here with the incredible Lou Ferrigno in Santa Monica, California on an unusually cloudy day, right on the eve of the Ferrigno Legacy Championships coming up in 2 short weeks right here in Santa Barbara, only about an hour north of here. Lou, you're actually from Brooklyn, New York, so Santa Barbara is a long way from home.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, it's in the backyard because for me it's only like an hour, 15 minutes to drive there. And as a matter of fact, where we're standing right now, this was Joe Weider brought me here in 1974 when I won the Mr. International. He said, smell the air, you have to move here. This is the mecca for bodybuilding. Almost 40 years ago, right in this spot where we're standing.
Yeah, you've lived in Southern California longer than you were out in Brooklyn. But let's go back. Let's go back to where it started, because clearly when you first started lifting weights, this whole environment was not in your economy. Give us a short run on how you wound up here in Santa Monica.
Well, I won the Mr. Universe twice, and it was my dream to come to California. I came here in 1976. I didn't have any money. I slept on the beach for about 3 days, so I was able to get a contract with Joe Weider. But I just loved the air, the environment, because it's a mecca for bodybuilding. I knew as a child, this is where I wanted to be. This is my path for my life about fitness and bodybuilding, because California at the time embraced bodybuilding, and it was the love of the sport.
Bodybuilding on the landscape in California has changed dramatically since the mid-'70s. Of course, you had your taste of the Mr. Olympia back then, and you made a resurgence back in the 90s, which is 17 years out of retirement, had a family. Tell us a little bit about that comeback, because we just read something about you having this, you're being torn between the WBF with Vince McMahon and, of course, the IFBB with Joe Weider. Where was your mindset back there in '92?
Well, I woke up one day, I wanted to be in the best shape of my life to come back to competition, because I was reading about you guys in the magazine. I said one more time, because when I competed in pumping iron, it was unfinished business. And once more, I want to be in my best shape. I was at the age of 42. I announced my comeback, and I remember Joe Weider said to me, you have to come back looking like a 90s bodybuilder, not like a 70s. So I had to get my weight to over 300 pounds. And I had so much fun because the competition was fierce, because I was the youngest one when I competed at 23 in 1975. When I came back to competition, I was the oldest competitor. But the change was incredible, because now you have striations, the lower back and the glutes. The old days, you go under a posing light and they pick the best man. But today is so crucial because you're all on stage and you can't hide any flaws. Yeah,
the evolution of bodybuilding had changed into a bigger animal, and you were towing around 3 kids and a wife, Carla, who was a very significant part of your career in the Ferrigno Legacy, I should say. An accomplished actor. A year ago or 2 years ago, you were on The Apprentice. And what happened as a result of that? Because you were representing all of bodybuilding, not to mention the Ferrigno name.
Well, it was tough because we had 18 egos to deal with. And you talk about tough ego. I raised a lot of money for charity because I wanted to prove that as a bodybuilder, you know, we're all born, all brain. Because they assume, oh, okay, Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, the bodybuilder, and what does he know about business? So I was the only athlete to make it to 9 shows. And it was a lot of fun, it was very intense, but I learned a lot about branding. That's why my whole life is about branding myself. And that's why now we have the Ferrigno Legacy. Yeah,
and we've come a long way. The 3 kids, all 3 of them got involved with personal training. Louis Jr. got involved with acting, and now we're here, headed to Santa Barbara in 2 short weeks, not too far away from where you built your name here in Santa Monica. And what can we look forward to on November the 28th and 29th?
Well, you got 5 different competitions. You got the IFBB bodybuilding, you got the NPC, you got the men's figure, the women's figure, the fitness and the beauty and the bikini. And the beauty about the competition, not just the bodybuilding, you have the general public, like people of all ages come and just view and see these women, these guys in great shape, like for example, you wear these boxing shorts. And it's fun because it had to do with fitness and bodybuilding, and nothing to do with drugs, sex, or violence. And it could be an extraordinary show.
Well, no question, you've done a little bit of everything, and now we're getting into the business of promoting bodybuilding. So is it as arduous a task to be putting on the best product that you can, knowing what, of course, your nemesis and friend Arnold Schwarzenegger has done and what Joe Weider's done with the Olympia? I mean, this is a huge undertaking, what you're doing now. I imagine it takes a lot of preparation to get ready for a show this big.
Well, what we're doing with this show, me and my son Chris Minnis were raised in the bar. This is not a typical show where you just go pump up on the grass. This is a first-class show. I mean, it got beautiful seats, velvet seats. We have a red carpet Friday night, and it's a very classic event. And each competitor is going to be treated like a competitor, not just like a wannabe. And we're raised in the bar. I think it's going to be the best show on the West Coast.
Well, no question. If anybody's up for the task and built for this task, the incredible Lou Ferrigno is. It's coming up November the 28th and 29th in Santa Barbara. Where can we go? What website can we get the information?
FerrignoLegacy.com.
FerrignoLegacy.com. I'll be rocking.
We want to say thanks to you for MCing.
I'll be rocking the microphone along with Louis Jr. over here. We're going to be putting it all down on Thanksgiving weekend right there in Santa Monica. For Lou Ferrigno, I'm Shawn Ray, MuscularDevelopment.com.